How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Bundesliga because they've been given the green light to start their season again. We're also going to be talking about Arsenal and a new app which they may well be testing. And lastly, we're going to be talking about Bruno Fernandes because FIFA are investigating his transfer to Manchester United after a complaint was made by Sampdoria against Lisbon.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. So the first place we're going to start is the Bundesliga, and the news that broke yesterday that the government have given the green light for them to start their season again. The Bundesliga season is free to restart in the second half of May after the German government gave the green light on a return to action. Football in Germany has been suspended since mid-March, with coronavirus having infected over 150,000 people in Germany so far. Almost 6,300 people have died of the disease in the country. The league is the first of any of Europe's major leagues to be given the clearance to resume playing. Since the coronavirus pandemic took hold, two of Germany's neighbours, the Netherlands and France, have actually ended their seasons. Matches in Germany's top two divisions can take place later this month, but of course it will be without spectators. The Chancellor in Germany has said that Bundesliga players and staff will not have to quarantine for 14 days because of the club's regular testing capacity. Testing is regular there, so the quarantine period is not set to 14 days. Minister President of Bavaria accepts the decision to resume, but will see this as controversial. We have agreed sensibly. We know that it is very controversial. I know that these responsible in the clubs will do everything possible to comply with the regulation, but the players must also adhere to that. The Bundesliga General Assembly will be held in Frankfurt on Thursday to discuss the health and safety protocol to ensure the league's safe return. They're expected to decide on the start date and match calendar in that meeting. The majority of Bundesliga clubs have 9 matches left to play in this campaign. Eintracht Frankfurt and Werder Bremen have 10, with leaders Bayern Munich 4 points ahead of Borussia Dortmund in second. So that's big news for Germany and the Bundesliga. And of course, they're a lot further ahead in their rescheduling of everything in comparison to what's going on in the UK. And also when you look at the death toll, for example, in Germany, it's 6,300. When in the UK it's absolutely miles more than that. But that doesn't, give it any excuse. It's just a sad state of affairs that anyone's had to die from this. But look, they're trying to get back to normal, and the government have given the green light. There's people within, the government that understand that it's going to be a controversial decision. There's some people opposed to it in Germany, but they feel that, whilst it's safe and that they've got their guarantees within reason that they can get these games done and that nobody is going to contract the virus and, ultimately, worst case scenario, nobody is going to die from it. They're going to get the go ahead and they're going to, move forward with their plans. So very interesting to see. I want to see what happens with this meeting, which of course is today. And I want to see, what gets said, when the actual calendar, what the fixtures are, when it starts, when they're looking to finish. And maybe this is what the likes of the Premier League are waiting for. They're waiting to see what's going on with Germany, how well they handle it, and whether they can learn from that. But it remains to be seen. And, even in the report there, they were saying France and Holland, they've cancelled their seasons. And there's not much distance between, France and Germany and Holland and Germany. And, there's completely different, situations in the way that they dealt with it. One's getting the season up and running again, and two have cancelled their seasons and they won't be playing no sports until at least September. So very interesting, and I'll wait to see what happens in that meeting later today and when a start date is proposed. Now, the next piece of news involves Arsenal, and this is one of the most strangest stories I have seen. And I had to actually look at it first and think, this has got to be a joke. It's not April the 1st, is it? This is a wind-up, surely. I can't actually believe I'm going to say what I'm going into here, but this is genuine and it's real, trust me. Crowd noises could be broadcast inside stadiums via fans sat on their sofa when football returns from the coronavirus pandemic. A German tech company have developed a mobile phone app, My Applause, that is reportedly under consideration by Arsenal, Manchester City and Liverpool. It works by giving fans 4 options to transmit a noise that will resonate across the stadium as the game plays. A cheer, a jeer, applause or a whistle noise can be made with the app, claiming it has the capacity for up to 1 million viewers. And they reckon a minimal delay of only 1/10 of a second comes between the button being pressed and the noise being transmitted, making for instant reactions to a real game. This is just absolutely insane. Jürgen Kreis of Hackcare told the Sports Mail that the company wants to generate tangible interact from major teams before pitching their idea to the Premier League. Clubs would not need to pay for the technology if they offer future incentives to the app creators, while the cost of fans to stand at around £1 each. Broadcasters are said to be considering their own atmosphere replicas ahead of football's return behind closed doors. A virtual crowd option could be available on Sky Sports, along with the neutral silence games with the played against. Oh mate, seriously? Is this what we're moving to within football right now? And I'm talking about the integrity of the game and everything. And I'm sorry, I think it's an unbelievable, thing that they've created. It's something unique and they've got some serious brains to create something like this. But, come on, man. Imagine just sitting there at home, just pressing all these noises, jeering, boo, yeah, whistles and... Oh, mate, honestly, I suppose Man City would enjoy it because it means they'd actually have an atmosphere. But come on, man. I just don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. Watching games behind closed doors. Now, I watched some before we had this break and they were awful. It's just so quiet. So I get what they're trying to say, but it just doesn't feel real. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know how it would sound. I would like to hear it. That would be something. I'd love to see a test on this. I'd love to see it and, hear it in action. And you never know, it could actually be unbelievable. Maybe if they added a few extra features in there, like some drums and whatnot, we could really get it going. But it just sounds weird. And from someone that goes to games week in, week out, maybe that's the selfish side of me because I'm going to miss it so much and I have missed it. And I want nothing more than to be able to go back into a stadium again and just watch my team play, and see everybody in the atmosphere and what football brings. But yeah, I suppose these are unprecedented times. So because of that, unprecedented measures. Very interesting. And I'd like to know your thoughts on that one, that's for sure. Last piece of news involves Bruno Fernandes, and FIFA are investigating his transfer to Manchester United, but it's not Manchester United that have anything to worry about. FIFA have confirmed they are investigating a claim from Sampdoria against Sporting Lisbon in relation to the financial obligations set out in the contract corresponding to the transfer of Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United. A FIFA spokesperson has confirmed the complaint was lodged by Sampdoria on April the 3rd relating to the deal which took Fernandes from Sporting to United in the January transfer window. A spokesperson said the matter is currently being investigated and consequently we cannot provide further comments. It has been reported that Sampdoria believe they are entitled to 10% of any profit Sporting made on Fernandes, who was sold to Manchester United for €58 million. That would mean the Serie A club who Fernandes played for just a single season before moving to Portugal for $7.5 million in 2017 would be entitled to a payment of around £4 million. So, yeah, of course, this is something that Manchester United are, clear of. They're not in any trouble in any way, shape or form. They've done nothing wrong. This is between Sampdoria and Sporting. And you've got to think that there is something in place for Sampdoria to, you know, go and get FIFA involved and everything else. And £4 million, it's a lot of money. For a club like Sampdoria as well, that's a lot of money. So they're not going to let that one go lightly. And surely there's going to be contracts and whatnot, which will be able to verify all this. And, you know, the matter should be dealt with quite quickly. But interesting one. And if there isn't a contract and they don't have a little bit of a, you know, right for the money and the sell-on or whatever, then why are they complaining in the first place? Weird one, but no doubt we'll find out in due course as to what happens with that. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics, especially that app. Please let me know what you think about that, because it just seems insane in my opinion. But listen, if you're not around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. I'll see you lot tomorrow. I'm out of here.